You keep saying you need more motivation, you don't. You just need standards because motivation is for people who want to feel different. Standards for people who are ready to live different, right? And most people are stuck for one reason. They only do the work when they feel like it. When they feel strong, focused, inspired, when life feels easy, when the mood's right. And that's exactly what keeps them falling off the wagon. If your life is built on mood, your results will be unstable. If your life's built on standards, you'll stop negotiating. And that's where change starts. A lot of people are waiting to feel ready to train, disciplined, feel their habits, clean up their life, ready to become the person they keep talking about. But that day usually never comes. Because readiness isn't what changes you. Decision changes you. Standards change you. A line in the sand, that changes you. The moment you decide this is no longer acceptable for me and everything starts moving in a different direction. Not because you suddenly become a machine, not because every day feels great, but because you start living your life like you're in charge. And that's the trap most people are stuck in. They wake up, check their mood before they check their responsibilities. They ask, do I feel like it today? Well, that's the wrong question. That question has to be kept a lot of capable people weak. The better question is, what is the standard today? Because standards remove the debate. They remove the daily bargaining. They remove the excuses. They remove the fantasy that you're magically going to become consistent, becoming more disciplined, and motivation just comes and goes. Everybody knows that. You can watch a video, hear a quote, get fired up, feel locked in for an hour. Maybe fired up for a day. Then life hits. You get tired, irritated, something goes wrong, you sleep badly, you lose momentum, and suddenly all that motivation is gone. That's why motivation is a terrible foundation. It's temporary. It's emotional. It's unreliable. Standards are different. Standards stay. A standard says, this is what I do now. It's not when it's convenient, not when it's inspired, not when I get around to it. Now. That's identity. That's maturity. That's where real life self-respect starts. If your standard is that you train 4 times a week, then you train 4 times a week. Not because every workout feels amazing, not because your schedule is perfect, not because your energy is high all the time. You do it because that's what you do. If your standard is to keep promises to yourself, then you keep them. If your standard's that you keep your room tidy, then you clean it. If your standard is that money gets handled, then you handle it. If your standard is that your work gets done before you sit around consuming garbage, then that's what happens. That's how adults rebuild themselves. Not by chasing emotional highs, not by raising the floor up, this is how they keep themselves right. Most people try to raise their ceiling instead of raising the floor. They want breakthroughs, big motivation, big confidence, big momentum. Their floor is still weak. Their minimum standard's too low. And your life isn't built by your highest moments, it's built by your lowest standards. Read that again in your own mind. Your life is not built by your highest moments. It's built by your lowest standards. That means results are usually a reflection of what you tolerate, not what you hope for, not what you post about, not what you say you want, not what you say you're capable of. It's what you tolerate. If that's uncomfortable, but it's true. You say you want discipline, but you tolerate distraction. You say you want confidence, but you tolerate broken promises to yourself. You say you want a better body, but you tolerate lazy eating and inconsistency. You say you want peace, but you tolerate chaos in your environment, your schedule, and your mind. You say you want to rebuild your life, but you keep tolerating habits that keep that version down. That's why people stay stuck for years. They're focusing on desire instead of installing standards. I want more, but they never decide what they'll no longer accept, okay? Because life keeps moving in the direction of your tolerated behavior. If you tolerate weakness, you're going to keep getting weaker. If you tolerate avoidance, you'll keep drifting along. If you tolerate comfort, excuses, low effort, you'll keep living beneath your potential. That's one of the most frustrating ways to live. Knowing you're capable of more while watching yourself accept less. That destroys something in a person. And that's where confidence starts to fall apart. A lot of people think confidence is something you have or don't have. Well, that's not actually how it works. Confidence is built on self-trust. Self-trust is built on your actions matching your words. That means every time you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it, you weaken trust. Every time you tell yourself you will and you do it, then you build trust. Right? If you tell yourself you will train, you don't. You'll tell yourself you will focus, you don't. You'll tell yourself this week you'll be different. Then you repeat the same pattern again. That does damage. Maybe not all at once, but over time it absolutely does, because you start seeing yourself as someone who doesn't act. Start seeing someone who doesn't follow through, someone who's always about to start. And when that becomes your pattern, confidence drops. Not because you need more affirmations, not because you need to think more positively, because deep down you know you're not keeping your word. That's why people feel flat. They feel weaker than they should, more hesitant than they should, less certain than they should. And it's not always because life beat them down. Sometimes it's because they spent too long betraying themselves in small ways. Broken promises, small acts of avoidance, small moments where they knew better and still chose lower. That adds up. But here's the good news. The rebuild works the same way. You do not rebuild confidence by hyping yourself up. You rebuild confidence by restoring self-trust. You restore self-trust by setting a standard and living by it again and again. That's how you become solid. That's how you stop feeling scattered. That's how you stop needing constant motivation to do the basic things in life. You become someone whose word means something, right? Even to yourself, especially to yourself. Let's make this practical. Here's what I want you to do. Pick 3 areas where your standards have slipped. 3, not 20, not every area in your life. Just pick 3. Pick the areas where you know you've been letting things slide. Maybe it's your body. Maybe you've been eating like somebody who gave up, skipping training, ignoring sleep, feeling heavy, slow, and disappointed. Maybe it's your environment. Your room's a mess, your car's a mess, desk is cluttered. Everywhere you look, there's proof that your standards have dropped. Maybe it's your mind. Too much scrolling, too much noise, too much content, too much avoidance, too much passive consumption, and not enough action. Maybe it's your work. You know you're capable of more, but lately it's been the bare minimum. Dragging your feet, delaying hard things, letting the day control you instead of you controlling the day. So pick 3 areas. Then in each area, write 1 new minimum standard. Not an ideal, not some big plan, a minimum standard. This matters because people often fail because they make the plan too big. They try to go from no discipline to a machine overnight. That's ego, not strategy. You need a good solid floor to stand on. Make the standard clear and non-negotiable. An example. I train for 30 minutes 4 times a week. I do not eat junk food Monday through Friday. My kitchen's clean before I go to bed. I read 10 pages before I touch social media. I do 1 hour of focused work every day. Those are standards. They're measurable, specific, hard to misunderstand. And once you choose them, you follow them for 14 days. 14 days, no debate, no negotiation. No, I'll start Monday. No, today was crazy. No, I'm not feeling it. That's the whole point. You're breaking the pattern of living by moods. You're teaching yourself that feeling isn't the way to go. For 14 days, the standard leads you. At first, there will be lots of resistance, right? You're going to build it up. That's normal. Your old habits are going to push back. Your weaker habits will start bargaining with you. You'll hear the same excuses. Tomorrow, later, just this once, you deserve a break, start fresh next week. Ignore that voice. That voice has already cost you enough. If you keep going, something has to shift. You're going to feel cleaner, stronger, more stable. Your mind's going to get quieter. Your posture's going to change. You're going to carry yourself differently. Not because your whole life is fixed in 2 weeks. That's a dream. But because you stopped leaking strength through constant betrayal. And that changes a person super fast, because what most people are actually starving for is not motivation. It's self-respect. And self-respect is earned. And it's earned when your behavior matches your standards. It's earned when you stop tolerating what's beneath you. It's earned when you stop asking your feelings for permission and start leading yourself like someone who still has a future to build. So stop asking, how do I get more motivated? That question's too small. Better question, what standard will I live by now? What am I done not tolerating? What gets cut out of here? What changes today? Because once you answer honestly, the path gets clearer. You don't need another motivational hit. You need a standard, a real one, a lived one. One that shows up on tired days, on busy days, frustrating days, normal, boring days, when no one's watching, when you'd rather slip. That's where the rebuild happens, okay? It's when confidence comes back. It's where your life starts to reflect all your potential again. you're done drifting and ready to rebuild, get my Quick Start program and join my Unstoppable Again program. It's all about people who are serious about raising their standards, rebuilding their lives, and regaining their self-respect. As soon as you do this, you're going to start becoming someone who's strong, focused, and unstoppable again. I hope to see you there. Until next time.